Hello everyone, I'm Simin from Microelectronic Laboratory at the University of Glasgow. Today, it's my honor to share our latest cooperation work with Newcastle University and INA Portugal. We are working on minimized magnetic sensor device for biomedical applications. So the figure simplifies our research on implantable device in the human brain and human skeletal muscle. Today, my presentation will be divided into 5 parts. First of all, I will talk about our targets, Magnetomyography. Subsequently, I will present our numerical simulations and proposed magnetic technologies. After that, preliminary results will be discussed. Finally, I will draw the conclusion and our future work. So what is magnetomyography? It is measurement of the magnetic signal generated when the muscle is contracted. So it can be used for the assessment of muscle activity for movement neuroscience, diagnosis of muscle and nerve diseases, and also can be used for the motor rehabilitation. Traditionally, the muscle activity can be recorded electrically by EMG technique. It's called electromyography from the surface of skin using the mental electrode. However, the MMG can be an alternative method to address some limitation of the EMG methods. Firstly, the MMG has the same temporal resolution as EMG signals, but can offer significantly higher spatial resolution, benefiting from the magnetic vector nature. Secondly, the MMG does not require any electrical contact for recording. So that means the sensor can be fully encapsulated with biocompatible materials that can minimize the risk of infection. So here we simulated MMG signals based on the finite element methods in terms of multiphysics and also calculate it in MATLAB. As you can see, the magnitude of MMG signals depends on several parameters. The major one is the distance between the muscle fiber and the sensors. So when recorded in isolated muscle fibers or implanted it onto the skin, it can change in the nanotesla range. But when we place a sensor on the skin outside of the body, it can change in the range of Pico-Tesla. So that's the signals are extremely small. Over the past 4 decades, scientists are looking for the best candidates for the MMG. Here is the progress pathway. Current common method are squids and OPMs. Both operate in magnetic shielded room, which are very bulky, expensive. Besides, it also requires a temperature controlled environment, just like this figure. Here, we compared magnetic signals produced by various sources from human body, like muscle, brain, and heart, with the state-of-the-art technologies. More detail can be found in our latest journal paper. So today, I will present a minimized, low-cost, room temperature magnetic sensors based on the spintronics and thin film technologies. It's called Magnetoresistive sensors. So the spintronics is a study of the fundamental property of the electron known as spin, including the AMR, GMR, and TMR. The figure here shows their typical structures. Here, the TMR, the tunneling magnetoresistive effect, is a nanoscale phenomenon, just like sandwich structures. Under the right conditions, the electrons can turn through a very thin, isolating materials called barrier. And 2 sides are ferromagnetic materials called free layer and pinned layers. So when we apply a bias voltage or current to the TMR sensors, its electrical resistance can change as a linear function of the electromagnetic field strength. So this is due to the dependence of the tunneling probability on the relative magnetizations between the 2 ferromagnetic materials. Therefore, it was not only to minimize the sensor, but also can achieve the low power and room temperature detection, especially without using the heavy shielded room. So for the magnetic sensors, the noise level will determine the limit of detections. So based on our research, the best overall performance of noise is obtained with large arrays of large area of sensors. So moreover, the TMR sensors is CMOS compatible. That means it can be integrated with its readout circuits to achieve the on-chip noise and offset cancellation. Benefiting from the advantage of the CMOS integration, it can achieve the ultra small size and ultra small power. So here is our fabricated chip with totally 1,102 elements. The size of each TMR sensors is 100 multiplied 100 micrometer. And the most important three layers, pin layers, free layer, and middle layers, are indicated in the red colors. As you can see, under the microscope, the entire structures, the red block shows the barriers surrounding by the ferromagnetic materials. So here is the actual image. Sensor device just like a resistor, so we will use a full Western bridge configurations to minimize the temperature drift. So I will also talk about this later. In this page, I will show the sensor performance. It shows a measured curve of resistance with external magnetic fields. So in the figure A, you can see that it's very linear around 0 point. The challenge here is to detect very weak magnetic fields from femto to Pico-Tesla. And also for the MMV signals, usually they have very low frequency domain from the 10 to 500 Hertz. So from the sensitivity and the noise spectra, the 1/f noise is the dominant factors, and the minimal fields that the sensor can detect is 20 Pico-Tesla at 100 Hertz. So for example, at a specific frequency of 120 Hertz, if we do the FFT, a very linear response can be shown in the frequency domain. So now let's move to the sensor interface design. The MMV sensor systems comprise sensor, analog front-end circuits, and digital signal processing units. So here shows function blocks to select useful information from the measured MMV signals. More specifically, 4 TMR sensors with a full Western bridge configurations can operate it in a voltage mode. The output from the two-bridge arm is then sent to the ultra-low noise differential amplifier with 2 buffers, and a 20 order bandpass filter, a programmable gain amplifier, a multiplexer, and also the microcontrol units, which includes 24 bits analog to digital converter. Finally, the signal are transmitted through a wireless module, and then extracted, classified it, and displayed in the live view interface on the laptop. Finally, this slide shows the experiment results. We place the TMR sensor exactly on the skin of the muscle, hand muscle, and the 100 seconds MMV signals were recorded and analyzed to verify the whole process of the muscle activities. So here we show a clear difference in time domain between the tense hands and the relaxed hands. An amplitude of 200 Pico-Tesla was detected when the hand was tense. That matched well with our MMV simulations. The minimal measured signals were 20 to 30 Pico-Tesla when the hand was relaxed. So that is the noise activities. So from the figure C, it shows clear signals up to the bandpass filtering. So from the power spectra, the frequency domain, most of the signals are in the range of the 30 to 300 Hertz. So which is consists of the theory. In this range, the signal to noise ratio is greater than 20. So in conclusion, we developed a minimized, highly sensitive, and low power MMV sensors to achieve non-invasive and room temperature detection. So we proposed for the first time a fully integrated magnetic chip to identify, characterize, and quantify the MMV signals for the assessment of mass activity. Regarding our future work, our device will be validated in the rodent animals, just like a rat. While for a long-term plan, we aim to implant it in a human. So that is my presentation today. Thank you for your listening.